Well, greetings again, guys. Obviously back with the Evolve content because now I'm a little bit more free. I can now try and get a few uploads on the go. Now, the main reason I'm making this video, because I wasn't actually going to make a video until maybe Tuesday, which is of course when Linux, the new Assault, is coming out to Evolve. But I was reading the 2K news, and unfortunately, I've got some bad news to bring you guys, and I know what's going to happen, and there's going to be loads of people that are going to get very, very pissed off in the comments. And to be honest, I would not blame you, but to give some of you a backstory, literally have no idea what I'm talking about, Evolve recently released a new teaser for 4 new hunters and 1 epic looking new monster, to be precise the 5th tier to Evolve. And the good news is, like I just said, Lennox, the brand new Assault, which is a granny in a massive suit, is coming on Tuesday. However, what was not mentioned is not all of these new characters will be released until March 31st, 2016.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Now, I will cut Evolve some slack. Coming up with a brand new set of hunters and monsters, making them and then balancing them in the game is probably quite hard, which is probably why we've got the Assault first, because the Assault is probably the easiest one to balance and create to put in the game. But you really shouldn't be announcing DLC that isn't yet ready. I mean, I think the maximum I would have dragged out this DLC for would be about 2 to 3 months, but 8 months until we get every single one of this new tier. I'm sorry, Evolve, but that is a ridiculous amount of time to wait for this new DLC. And I'm kind of hating on this because I love the game so much. As annoying as this is, I don't want people absolutely crying in the comments about this. I mean, I'm not completely positive that this is true, but this is what it said on the 2K news form, and so I'm assuming that what's on there is obviously going to be true. Now, I'm going to try and keep as positive as possible about this decision that Evolve has made. We are getting a new Assault on Tuesday. That's pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait to play as Lennox. Not only that, because this DLC is being dragged out for so long, I've always got something to look forward to, or got something to look forward to for a while now, so it doesn't mean that I can't be excited about what's going to come to the game. So, going back to the outline of the new hunters, I just wanted to bring up some theories you guys had, and also my own, because I didn't have a lot to say about them beforehand, and now I've got a bit of a clearer image of them, I can now start to mention what I think about them. Now, I didn't have anything to say about the Trapper beforehand, but now I've had a bit more of an idea about how this Trapper is going to track, and all sorts such as that. So, it's quite clear that this Trapper has something going up his arms. I mean, I thought it was wires before, but looking at closer inspection, this does look like some sort of barbed wire. Now, this could be used for 2 things. One, I was thinking maybe some sort of tripwire type thing, which could be used to track the monster in some way. So that's one theory. The other thing is, because as you guys know, Lennox has this new kind of ability that is like an added extra, where a monster can do less knockback to it. So, is it completely possible that this Trapper is kind of covered in barbed wire as almost like a defense thing, and so if the monster hits it with like a melee attack, then it actually takes damage from that, because that's something that could be balanced and actually could be put into the game. You have to think about also the pistols might be something to do with the trapping, so perhaps he has to, you know, pinpoint 2 points in the area for the tripwire to go. I have no idea. The only problem I see with this is it might be very bad if you're going up against Kraken, unless you have some sort of big netting maybe that you can trap them in. It could be really interesting to see. Lastly, something else that I did notice, and it's actually to do with the clothing of this Trapper. So if you look at the helmet of this Trapper, it's quite clear it looks like it has some sort of horns. Now, I did think this was horns, but now I'm actually having sort of a second thoughts about this. So it's quite clear that this Trapper is wearing some sort of big cloak type uniform, and if you look at Dracula capes and that sort of stuff, they happen to have those sort of big wings on them, so it's completely possible that what we are actually seeing are the sort of wings on a sort of Dracula cape for this Trapper. You also can see a little wire sticking out the sort of left side of the top of the helmet. That might mean that yes, the Trapper's going to place down something such as tripwires, and then as soon as they get triggered, then obviously they get beamed back to him and he can see the location of it. As for the medic, I didn't actually see many theories for the medic or what the medic could be. I think personally, and I think what a lot of other people maybe have been thinking this medic is going to be another robot, a bit like Bucket, so that could be interesting to see. The only other thing I could say, or the theory about how it's going to heal, I would have the theory that maybe it actually places something down and it has a radius, and if you're within that radius, then maybe you have some sort of quick regen. I have no idea, again, if you guys have any ideas, but I still haven't seen many theories about the medic. Lastly, the support. We've had a bit more of a theory about him or her. So I think him or her is definitely human, simply because the left arm looks very, very human, and then the right arm quite clearly has something attached to it. Now, she or he is having a stance a bit like Lazarus does. So this thing that is attached to his or her arm clearly does something that's going to perhaps help the hunters in some way. Some people were saying that maybe it could actually be something that sort of revives players, but revives them with some kind of buff, perhaps. And no, my friends, those aren't just fabulously long fingernails. But even if it's not an actual weapon and actually is part of its arm, perhaps it could mean that we could be seeing some half-alien type character. Half human, half alien. It could be interesting, and it'll be exciting to see. Also, it's quite clear that on the hips of this new character, it is quite geared out, and it even has a little spanner there, so it could sort of lead onto a backstory that perhaps this is some sort of mechanic who can build epic shit. I have no idea. But moving on to the monster. Now, it is quite possible that this thing used to be human, so I know a lot of you guys have already said this theory, and I know a lot of you already know about it, but for those of you that don't know, Slim, who is the bug hunter, who is a medic in the game already, which I'm sure all of you are familiar with, and I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this story already. He came from something called the Basilisk Wars, which from all we know, it was a big war that's happened in outer space, whatever it may be. And to enhance soldiers for this war, they actually turned them into bugs. So Slim used to be human, but he got turned into a bug. Now, there was 3 generations of, people trying to turn these soldiers into bugs. And Slim is generation 3. And Slim actually mentions that generation 1 were less human and just like big bugs. Which might mean, considering the fact that this new monster looks like a human spider alien-like motherfucker, was a generation 3 Basilisk soldier that may have gone wrong. So it might have been some kind of experiment, and then, of course, this then turned this person into a monster, and so they've sort of, gone to rid the world of Sheer. So it's quite clear that this thing obviously doesn't have any human thoughts anymore. It probably became more bug than human, like Slim said. The only problem I have with this theory is White is joining the quest with the other monsters to take down generators and all sorts that are powering things that are disturbing habitat on Sheer. It is pretty damn interesting. In terms of abilities and such, I'm not quite sure, but there's been a lot of theories saying it could trap, it has poison, it has acid, it's going to be fast moving, it could possibly go on ceilings. I don't know if that would be possible to people in the game, but it'd be interesting to see. It is a big shame we have to wait almost a damn year for this thing. However, I'd rather it come out and not be some OP new Wraith though. I'm hoping that it'll be balanced when it comes out, considering Evolve are taking their time over it. So I just can't wait for this monster, and it just looks scary as shit. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the new series that I'm going to be bringing out on my channel, guys, because I mentioned it before, but I didn't really specify a lot on it. So as you guys know, I might be doing some sort of top 10 type of Evolve video, maybe top 5 fails, whatever it may be. So I've been asking you guys to send in clips, and so far I've actually gathered quite a few fails and some quite cool clips, and I'm actually going to make these videos quite soon. I haven't got too many of them yet, but the problem I think I'm finding is I'm not getting a lot of clips sent to me the right way. So you guys know how to send them in properly, and so I can see them and get them and download them as easily as possible, what you want to do is get the clip from wherever you've got it, from your PC, your Xbox, your PS4, from Evolve. It's got to be a really cool clip from you doing something. It might be a fail, it might be a clutch situation, it might be something epic, it might be something funny, whatever it is. What I want you to do is take that clip, upload it to YouTube, and then send it through a message to me. That's the easiest way I can get the clip, have a look at it, and then download it. What I have been getting is people sending them on Xbox and such, and that is not very convenient for me. So if you're not sure how to get them off your Xbox or whatever, I'm sure you can look at a tutorial on YouTube how to do it. I'm sure it's not hard to find. Otherwise than that, I want to thank you guys for almost getting me to 10,000 subscribers. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to do a face reveal so you guys can see my ugly ass face at 10k. because I think some of you wanted to see what I look like, and I think that'd be cool. Maybe I can do some future face cams, I don't know, if you don't find it too hideous. And I also wanted to mention a little bit about what I want to do with my channel, sort of future-wise. I think I'm very, very into competitive games, very multiplayer competitive games, so I think what I'm going to do, and I'm going to stick with Evolve, of course, because there's more content to come for that. I really enjoy the game still. I might even think about getting a team together if Evolve do a new tournament, because I'm quite excited and I kind of want to get involved in that a little bit more. I might try to get into the sort of next tournament that Evolve bring up, because I didn't have a chance to get into Proving Grounds because I was in the middle of my exams at the time. But yeah, I think my channel's mainly going to consist of, you know, sort of tips and tricks of big multiplayer games and loads of banterous shit about new games coming out, because, you know, who doesn't love a bit of banter?
Whoa. That's the Lazarus device from Evolve! I bet he touched so many kids with that glove.
This is great banter. It really is.
Well, aren't I just a really funny person? So that cinematic trailer anyway was from a game called Overwatch, which I'm really interested in. If you guys go and watch the multiplayer trailer for that, it looks absolutely epic, so expect content for that. Also 2K, which of course is the creators of Evolve, are also bringing out a new game called Battleborn, and I'm going to be playing that as well because that looks just as interesting. It has the same sort of style, those two games, but they're really cool. And anyway, it's been your boy Grizzle Marine. Shit coming for 10k. I'm dead excited. I know these hunters are going to be a big wait out, but you know, it's just something we're going to have to deal with. And I will see you guys next week with gameplay of the Thunder Child.